Such a nice morning, I thought I'd come down to the riverside. Twickenham Riverside. Had a lot of rain recently. The river's quite high, flowing quite fast. The little island over there is called Ilpie Island. It's where the Rolling Stones first formed, supposedly. First played out. I think Rod Stewart, the Yardbirds, loads of wow, getting attacked by seagulls. Someone must be feeding them bread. Got some friends there. Yeah, so 2 videos now. One about the defibrillators popping up everywhere. I wasn't going to do it. There was only 3 in Twickenham. Well, still 3 is a lot, but there was only 3 in Twickenham. And then I noticed at Christmas time, when I was out walking around, another 2 had popped up. And of course I've been noticing, because I'm quite aware of these things, I'm always keeping my eyes open, is all the banks that have been shutting recently as well. So I guess the videos are really just to raise awareness of what's going on around us, which a lot of people tend to just not notice these days, which I find quite amazing. So yeah, nothing more, nothing less. Get people to think about things. Dare I say, ask a few questions, if that's still allowed. But we have to, because things are changing, and not necessarily for the betterment of society or for our ways of life. If you think about the potential of a future where there are no banks, there is no cash. Everything you spend, everything you earn is tracked, traced, monitored, records kept. Now some people will say, well, I have no problem with that. You know, I only ever use my card. And walking around, all I do see really is people using their phones, using their bank cards, using their watches even to pay for things, to get on buses, to get on trains. Amazing really. Cash is rapidly dying. Or is it? Some reports will have you say cash is coming back. If you think about it, when you go out shopping or for a night out, you take £100 in your pocket in cash, you buy a few drinks, you buy some clothes, you look at your purse or your wallet, half an hour later you know exactly what's left in there. And with this cost of living crisis that's going on at the moment, dare I say, people are actually more mindful of what they've got in their pocket, what they're spending. Whereas when you use a card or you use your phone and you're tapping, you tend to lose track of what you're spending. I've done it myself, and I've gone out and I haven't taken cash, and I've just gone out and willy-nilly just tap, 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 tap. You don't even notice it, and then you wake up in the morning and you think, shit man, I spent 150 quid last night. Where did that go? Because you weren't being aware of what you were spending. You were just willy-nilly tapping away and not caring. But I think times are changing, and I think some people are actually reverting back to cash, which will not be good news for them. because it does seem, with all the banks closing and this kind of push towards buying stuff online, and paying for everything with a card or with a phone, there are a number of people who are reverting back to using cash again, and we have to keep cash going, in my opinion, because once it's gone, there will be no other option. And I've heard a few stories recently where actually I was jumping on a train at Clapham Junction, and I was in Costa, and all of a sudden their machines went down, and they just announced while I was there, cash only. Now, if there is no cash in the future, what happens when the machines go down? How do you pay for anything? Do then the shops have to shut for the day? What happens if the machines go down for more than a day? Shops got to be shut for 2, 3, 4 days, a week? You know, again, these things we need to think about. Not just accept, not just be bamboozled into something that we have no say in. We have to think about it. Use our critical brains to ask questions. Where is this all going? So anyway, it's a lovely morning. It's a lovely morning in Twickenham. A nice morning for a walkie and a talkie. I changed the channel name yesterday to exactly that, because I do quite like to go for walks, and I quite like talking. And we desperately need to talk about things right now, more so than ever before. The river there, that takes you down to Richmond that way. That's still Eel Pie Island over there, some boat yards. It's quite a cool place, Eel Pie Island. Some quite cool people live on the island, quite an eclectic bunch. And the river there takes you down to Teddington Lock, and then down towards Kingston. I'm just going to have a quick walk through here. I walk down here quite a lot. It's my go-to walk. This is York House Gardens. Always felt quite blessed, quite grateful for where I grew up in Twickenham. It's a nice part of southwest London. People are generally quite friendly, quite nice, even though it's a little bit, sometimes can be a bit poncy, a bit middle class, but people on the whole are generally quite nice. Remember as a kid we used to climb up all these statues, not allowed anymore. Put the spikes in. York House Gardens. Yeah, it's a nice area to live. We've got some nice parks around here. We've got Marble Hill Park in Twickenham on the Riverside. We've got Bushy Park in Teddington. Richmond Park in Richmond. So yeah, even though you're sort of in the suburbs of London, you do feel there's quite a lot of green space around here. Lots of nice parks to walk around. York House. Yeah, it's a nice little oasis really, to get away from it all. Bloody hell, I've even got a camera there, I just spotted that. Bloody cameras everywhere now. Another thing to raise awareness is not only the defib machines, the banks, it's all the amount of CCTV cameras that have been installed recently. It is it really is becoming a very closed-knit society of control, really. Everywhere you go in London, I think I saw a report once, you know, living where I do in the suburbs, to go into, let's say, Waterloo on the train, leaving your house, to when you get to Waterloo, you're picked up on something ridiculous like 400 different cameras on your journey. Again, people have been sold the line that, well, it's for our safety and security. And yeah, there is that. But there's also the other side of it, which people tend not to consider or look at, and that is major invasion of privacy. Now we've got these ULEZ cameras everywhere. That's caused a massive problem for a lot of poor people and working class people in London who can't afford to upgrade their cars, pay some ridiculous amount of money for an electric car, which only goes about 150 miles before you've got to sit at a service station for a couple of hours and wait for the damn thing to charge up again. New battery costs £25,000 to replace the battery in the car. Buy a new car for £25,000. But again, you know, I read stories and I look at articles, I look at all sides of the argument, of opinion, and there's a lot of people handing these electric cars back. This is a nice road. I've always liked this road. And beautiful houses down here. That used to be a pub back in the day. Yeah, this is the old part of Twickenham. Very twee little cottages and some very grand Regency style townhouses. Yeah, some nice houses here. Probably worth a few bob, I would say. So we've just done a little bit of a lap back down to the riverside. And when I was a kid, I used to be a paper boy when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, and one of the people I used to deliver to was this house here, the Anchorage, which was where Pete Townsend used to live before he moved to the Wick in Richmond. The Anchorage. That was Pete Townshend's old house there. It's a lovely old pub, the White Swan. Nice little riverside garden. Yeah, the White Swan. Nice little pub in the summer. Go on in. Anyway, that's my little walk done for this morning. Hope you have a good day. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to share any comments. And you all have a good day. Thank you.